Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknext.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
Well, let's see. All right, that's a valid question. You won't need to access it from the dashboard, but you would want to be a Node Market NFT holder to get the free ones. If you just want the drop of the tokens, everybody that has an NFT gets them. What we will do, oh yeah, because the form did go out. We'll try to get Brandon to put the form on the homepage of Node Market, or on the homepage probably of Nick Black Next. That'd probably be better. So we'll get Brandon to that. Matter of fact, I will message your concern to him. Toot sweet. Let's see. Go find Brandon in my list of the 6 people in my life that I talk to. All right. Can we put a form for bad USD on the homepage of the site? All right, that's it. So Conan wishes it, so it is proclaimed. All right. Hello, 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 and hello. All right. What's going on? Well, let's adjust this guy. Okay. Okay, we got our cool rebound in the market, like every Fed meeting. So here's the basic technique. Let's see. Oh, Brandon already responded. He said, sure. So there you go. Your wish is someone's command. Wow. Oh, we got some more hellos. Let me see. Hello, 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 hello. All right. So here's what happened. Every time a Fed meeting goes down, it works like this. First of all, the market can predict the Fed because the Fed is backwards facing, looking at 6-month-old data that is usually about to be downward revised by the QCEW. So even if they were data dependent, the data that they're looking on is mostly bullcrap. And then that bullcrap gets revised to be different bullcrap. The employment data they're looking at is bullcrap because they don't look at the fall off. So, I'll give you an example. You're unemployed. You exhaust all of your unemployment benefits. You no longer get benefits. You disappear from the unemployment records. Well, because you're not receiving unemployment insurance. You're not receiving any payments. Once you stop receiving payments, the Fed says you're no longer unemployed. You're unemployable. You're disenfranchised, unhireable. You have well, it's more than job insecurity. You have job inaccessibility. You are that hidden, murky workforce. So that's how the Fed be. So going into a Fed meeting, which everyone knows what they're going to do because they themselves, just follow old, outdated, usually re-revised data, and they're always behind the ball, and they drive a car using the rearview mirror. So since everyone in the market already knows what they're going to do well before they do it, it's weird that people then react to the Fed statement. Why is there? So there's the pre-reaction a few days before. Then there's the reaction. Then there's the reaction at his press conference where they changed 2 or 3 words in their statement. And everybody's like, oh my God, they took out the of. The of now says but. It's over. Again, to a useless non-governmental organization that doesn't deal in money. It's like if you have some kids playing Monopoly next to a bank. And they're like, you're bankrupt. You landed on Park Play. You're like, so what? Shut up, kid. That's the Fed. They play with funny money. They do not have any effect on the economy. Remember, Alan Greenspan said something like, if you understand, he's talking about statements. His whole theory was you have to keep things really vague. And so the idea was, he said one time, like, if you understood what I said, then I didn't do a good enough job of not explaining it correctly. So it's all just political theater, man. It's so stupid. So people react to what they think the decision will be. They react to the decision. They react to the press conference. 2 weeks from now, guess what? People are going to react to the minutes from the meeting. It's so dumb. People are so stupid. That's like, you have a girlfriend and she breaks up with you. We're breaking up. No, let's not break up. Yes. Oh, man. And then she calls you again. We're breaking up. Yeah, I know we're breaking. You just told me that. Yes, we're broken up. Yeah, I got it. We're broken up. You're sad. The second time you've been hit with this breakup stick. Then she calls you a week later. We are broken up. Yeah, no shit. I get it. I have moved on. Well, we broke up. Okay. And then 2 weeks later, we are so broken up. Oh my God. I get it. As a matter of fact, if you hadn't reminded me who you were, I don't even know what this phone number is. I deleted you from my phone. You no longer exist. No, we're broken up. Yeah, okay. But the markets, every single time you get broken up with by the Fed, they react. And actually, it's worse because in this case, this example is only correct if it's not even your ex-girlfriend. It's someone else's ex-girlfriend. And they're calling you. We're breaking up. What are you talking about? You don't affect my life. That's the Fed. They affect nothing. Affect. A-F-F-E-C-T happens before effect. Affect, but at first effect on the tail end. So it's just asinine. I think people are wising up to it. Even guys like Steve Leisman and stuff, who used to be just a Fed ball sucker. At least he's kind of coming around. You had some other guys like Steve was one of them. There was a couple of people yesterday that said some things that made more sense than they had in the past. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But anyway, but there was something interesting. There was something quite interesting that came out of that. Did you guys see? Let's see if I can get this article load. Come on, you. Bitcoin retakes 106. Well, let's put this in the context of did Bitcoin retake 106 or 105 and change? So remember, yesterday, lowly, sad little Bitcoin. And everybody was like, oh my God, the Fed and the. Well, here we are. Back up to 105, 106-ish, not very far away from the all-time highs. And of course, Fed's going to take credit for everything. They're going to take credit for the sunsets. But anyway, Bitcoin jumps 3% following the speech by the Fed's Jerome Powell, who said banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. Why? Because this motherfucker is worried about getting probably in the legal crosshairs of this bullshit choke point, Operation Choke Point and 2.0, where Elizabeth Warren and a bunch of Biden cronies very actively went out and debanked clients and I don't mean clients, I mean companies as well, for having any exposure to cryptocurrency or servicing crypto clients. And so now they're all like, no, we didn't say that. We would never. They did. The vice chairman of the FDIC came out and said, yes, it was happening. There's a lot of whistleblowers that are coming out. There's a lot of information that's documents that for some reason were erased. I guess they were using the Hillary Clinton copying machine. A lot of documents disappeared at the FDIC where, I mean, look, the FDIC was forcibly taking banks into receivership that were probably capable. So that's a whole other discussion for a whole other time. Or maybe no one ever cares about that. But anyway, so now the Fed's like, oh yeah, banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. In a clear indication, the era of debanking is mostly over. Powell said, we don't want to take actions that would cause banks to terminate customers who are perfectly legal just because of excessive risk aversion, maybe related to regulation and supervision. He is also, this is the other thing that frustrates me about Powell. He's not a regulator, but do you see how he talks? He talks like he is a regulator. He talks like Gary Gensler talked. At least technically Gary Gensler was a regulator. Jerome Powell is not. All they have is stress tests and memos and crap like that. These guys, their head must be so big you can't even fit through the door. And I have a massive front door, and I bet Jerome Powell's fat ass head can't even fit through it. You get him and Vitalik Buterin walking side by side, I don't think they could go under a bridge. Anyway, and that's a big bridge, like a multi-lane bridge. Too big, those heads. Anyway, he went even further to implicitly call on Congress to pass FIT 21, the new crypto act that would delineate jurisdiction between the SEC and the CFTC. Also, two things Jerome Powell has nothing to do with. I mean, nothing. Again, because he's not a regulator. He doesn't have a badge. He can't indict anyone. He's a talking head from a commission. That's it. It's mind-blowing. Ooh. Kraken has staking back? Whoa. Decisions. I'd probably throw my Ethereum over there because I'm getting a-holed over it at Coinbase 2 point something per. Come on, bro. Okay. So to continue, and this is Powell's words, because Powell, right? I think that would be a very constructive thing for Congress to do, Powell said regarding a crypto regulatory framework, highlighting the Fed has been working with them on it. Bullshit. The Fed has been working with them on it. Fuck you, Jerome Powell. What a douchebag. What a fucking lying douchebag. Him and Jamie Dimon, too. Jamie Dimon's like, oh, it's not us. I mean, we have all these regulations and we could get fined. We could hundreds of millions of fines. Jamie, you've shit-talked Bitcoin since it was $4 a token. Shut the fuck up. These guys are such scumbags. But you know what? It must grind their gears to have to eat so much fucking crow and just like, this is the new way it is. God damn it. You're like, it must be infuriating for them to have to just chew on it. Oh, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, am I right? Anyway, Powell said that his only relation to crypto is in regards to bank supervision. Again, they're not a regulator. They're an advisory. But a far more interesting aspect is the stablecoin ecosystem. Oh, so this is where it gets tricky. No one wants a federal I would say central bank, a CBDC, central bank digital currency. The problem is we don't have a real central bank. Again, the Federal Reserve is private. It's a private consortium of 12 banks. The Board of Governors, that is a rule advising, a Congress advising body. They don't make rules. They don't make regulations. They don't enforce shit. They advise and consult Congress. All right. And their whole goal is maximum employment, protection of purchasing power to maximize value for each family, each household. All right. So while Bitcoin in particular was rhetorically in competition to the dollar early on, that is no longer quite the case. To the contrary, the rise of stablecoins complements the dollar, and significantly so, in giving it complete global dominance in this form. Yes, wildcat private stablecoins are a weirdness. And I would not be surprised if the Federal Reserve starts testing stablecoins and potentially has their own stablecoin. I know it sounds stupid, and it would not be issued by the Treasury, but this would be a workaround to the legal situation where the Fed's actually not a money dealer and can't be. Like legally, they can't be. So this would be pretty interesting if they pull an Indo. We'll see. Europe is struggling to come up with a response because the demand for USD stablecoins was market-based. And there are startups that tokenize the euro and do all this kind of stuff, but no one cares about digital euro. You're going to hold digital euro or digital dollars. Wow, the world holds dollars. The world holds dollar-denominated debt, and what they would consider, pristine collateral, U.S. Treasuries, bills, notes, and bonds. So why would they hold euro? You might hold some euro if you're doing a lot of euro-based transactions. That might make sense. But for collateral purposes, that might be dead money, right? Cash is trash, that kind of thing. So you're definitely better off in some kind of cash producing asset, something that has some return on it other than just dead money, and collateral certainly serves that purpose. So anyway, for now, people want USDC, and dumb hillbilly cannabis sellers want USDT because they're idiots. But people want USDT or USDC, period, full stop. It's not clear specifically why there's such an aversion for like the European-based crypto stablecoins, but no one really cares. I think you have Kraken and Bitpanda. They tried to compete with something like a euro stablecoin, but nope, just not interesting. So the Fed, as it turns out now, after all this journey, is a friend to crypto. I think these guys all got a case of act right. They've had since the end of November 4th, to realize that their world just changed, and they don't have a choice. This is the new is. It isn't the maybe. Well, I'm not sure. All that shit is over with. I was talking to a financial advisor a few days ago, and God, they're all so stupid. He's like, "Oh, I just don't know about Bitcoin." I'm like, "How do you not know?" Like, I understand if you didn't know in 2010 or 2015 or in 2017, you were like, "Whoa, what is this thing?" It's only been around 8 years. How do you not know about Bitcoin now? What? Are you a fucking zombie? Are you Rip Van Winkle and you just wake up every decade? You are not fit to manage money at all. Bitcoin, I want everybody to write this real quick. There's 160 people here. I want everyone to write, Bitcoin is the most appreciating asset in human history. Here, I'll write it too. Bitcoin is the most appreciating asset in human history. Boom. That's kind of an important statement. If you manage money, if you sell people your services, you say, "Oh, I manage money." Do you? Do you even manage, bro? How the fuck do you manage money if you have no understanding? You don't have to like Bitcoin. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to recommend it. You can tell people it sucks, like Jamie Dimon, but he sure knows what it is. You can't not know what Bitcoin is at this point and be an adult. I don't trust you to get to work without pulling off down one of those dark alleys and doing some old sketchy stuff. You are dumb. And luckily, nobody that manages money watches this podcast because they all know everything. It is the most appreciating asset in human history. How on earth is that not? How is at least the concept? You don't think at some point you ought to just go take a look at it, lift the skirt up, see what their pronouns are. Like, figure out what's going on in that one weird space that is created the most appreciating asset in human fucking history. I don't understand how you call yourself a money manager. It's like mind-blowing. And these people blissfully make people less successful. They blissfully take money from people because they don't see it, because they don't get it. Pull your fucking dentures out, Grandma, and wake up. It's crazy. Anyway, so this is what we're dealing with. So even the Fed is a homie. Yeah, they don't have a choice. They're all going to be homies. This was the statement a long time ago was, whether you like Bitcoin or not, everyone will get put in, right? You will get put in. You will find yourself in this space, whether you want to or not, or you will lose, and you'll lose money for your clients, and you'll just disappear. See you later, bye. We're at a time now where every one of us, we are our own fund managers. We are, each of us, our own hedge fund managers. Let me ask you a question. This is kind of along the lines. Well, you know what? I'll wait. I'm going to give everyone a hint. We are going to talk about the qualities of money, because I gave a little speech last night at a group. It was really cool over at my buddy David's house. And it was a pretty good room. There was probably 150, 200 people there. And I talked about the 5 T's, how we pick assets that we buy. And there were some glossy eyes. There were some glazed over eyes in the room about crypto. But I would say at least half of the people there knew what Bitcoin was. And the ones that didn't had heard of it. So that was at least good. So you know, crypto friendly, I don't know. But definitely crypto curious. But some beer and a back rub, they'd be hip deep in some crypto, especially some Bitcoin. So anyway, I guess these guys have all had a case of act right. They've had a couple months to absorb the fact that this is the way things are going. And I guess there's some shared interest. And the reality that these stable coins are coming, and that they're probably, a darker looming quagmire than is Bitcoin. So Al said, we're not against innovation, of which they absolutely are. They haven't even innovated their Phillips curve. These guys use 2 metrics to manage an entire economy. Imagine if your doctor, when you went to the doctor's office, and your heart, you got a heart condition. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's like beating real bad, and you pass out, and you have what some might call a heart attack. You've had 7 of these, and you're there, and the cardiologist comes in, he says, Joe, what is your favorite color and your 3rd favorite paint? What? What does that even mean? Your favorite color and your 3rd favorite paint. 3rd favorite paint, Sherman-Williams? I don't even know 2 other kinds of paint. I don't even know what you're asking. That's all I need. Get ready for surgery. What? Whoa, guy. We don't have enough information, bro. This is the Fed. So the American quasi-central bank, that's not a real central bank because they don't deal in real money, has been less mean to the space over the last few years compared to others. I mean, this is true. The Fed didn't overtly participate in choke point. You know that under the table they absolutely did. The Elizabeth Warrens, the smug little bitches and all this. Yeah, which that's over too. I wonder what does she do in the morning now? Just wake up and just look in the mirror and scream at her wrinkles? Anyway, the European Central Bank has been slowly more open. I mean, at first the ECB was very anti-crypto, anti-anything that, you know, kind of embarrasses the ECB, which is most anything because they don't understand managing money either, but whatever. But a good news, Jerome is not against innovation. Thanks, Jerome. Good. The other thing too is like his ears are so big that he can hear what we're saying right now. Yeah, he can hear what we're thinking. That's how big his ears are. He could fly. He could just like coast. You know those squirrel suits? He's got like a squirrel suit of his ears. So there's a guy that can think. I heard somewhere that your ears keep growing indefinitely. That's the case. Wow. Can you imagine when AI is like really, AI transforms into AGI and that guy lives another 70 years? Dumbo. Anyway, Jerome said they're not against innovation, so that's good. Anyway, the Americans are clearly paying more attention to this space because, you know, they are closing a debate that has been going for about 7 years in central bank circles, again, not the Fed, regarding the role of fiat money amid the rise of crypto. And the thing is, they're looking at this wrong. They've had fake money forever. They've had crypto forever. They just called it a different thing. Bank money, bank lending, when a bank lends money into existence, there's no money there. They lent currency into existence out of mostly thin air because the tiny, tiny reserve requirements they have is a reserve of what? A bunch of electronic placeholders that tell them how many funny money US dollar currency units they have. It's the same shit. What does the US have? They have the power to tax. They have the War Powers Act. They can go declare war. They can blow shit up. They have giant boats filled with ass-hammering planes that rain down death. That's why. and relatively consistent equity markets that only a few people can actually access. And most of it's through passive indexation, so you're getting false signals. But that's why the funny money US dollar is, and you know what? If people have faith in a thing, then that thing has value. And this is, I was trying to explain this last night to somebody. They're like, well, I don't know with crypto, I can't hold it. What's the value of it? I'm like, the value is the network. It's transactability. It's being able to work with people you don't trust with and send them money and receive money and not worry about some man in the middle screwing you over. The value is the network. This big, giant, safe, recursive network that can do, transactions of varying degrees in a few minutes with a high level of surety, meaning like 100%, because it hasn't gone down. So there's value to that. People value it. The people that don't, and that's why I said, at one point, Bitcoin was $1 and the US dollar was $1. They were at parity. Now Bitcoin last night was like $103,000. That means people trust Bitcoin 103,000 times more than they trust the US dollar. Think about that for a second. Well, now it's more, isn't it? Now people trust Bitcoin 105,000 times more, almost 106,000 times more than they trust the US dollar. What other fucking argument do you need? Yeah, but it's not for me. Cool. Well, maybe success and preserving your buying power is not for you either. You fucking rubes. Like at a certain point, you give up trying to convince people and you take another path. So you know what? I'm going to educate people on good basic finance. They're probably not going to find. Listen, Most people, if you wish them good luck, they would squander it. It's a wasted effort. Wish them good Medicare. I guess that's the best thing. Wish them good. What is welfare checks? Wish them good welfare. I wish you welfare, sir. What? What are you saying? I wish you welfare. By the way, this one is butterscotch. Butterscotch coffee. Yeah. And it's sugary goodness. All right. So it seems to be Americans are paying more attention to this space, and they are closing a debate that's been going on for 7 years in central bank circles regarding the role of fiat money amid the rise of crypto assets. Some officials from the European Central Bank, the ECB, said that their response to the new president, Donald Trump, signaling an executive order to harness stablecoins should be to launch a European Central Bank digital currency, CBDC, which, cool, at least they're coming around, right? Slowly but surely. Is it going to strip people of their privacy? Yes. Is it going to strip? Is it going to be a way to weaponize currency? Absolutely. But you know what? You ain't got no privacy, and they've already weaponized your currency. So who cares? And yeah. Well, there was a Fed meeting. I can't be expected to not curse after a Fed meeting. Timothy, come on. All right. So the idea is a top-down approach, an attempt to shield incumbents from tech-based disruption. So instead of incentivizing them to adapt, it may keep them frozen to their shelf life. Ultimately, crypto is not competing with banking fundamentally or finance. It's just bringing the code-based capabilities to it. I believe in the future we won't say, well, it's crypto finance, or it'll just be finance again. Right? Everybody didn't say imaginary money when banks started lending into existence out of thin air. People didn't. They did say euro dollar, dollars lent by offshore entities into existence, potentially with no dollars to back those loans, mostly with no dollars to back those loans. Dollar-denominated loans lended into existence by banks that are not part of the U.S. regulatory scope. That is the euro dollar. You can't go buy a euro dollar. But if you're borrowing outside the U.S., you're borrowing in euro dollar terms. And guess what? Those dollars spend. Well, that was a way of increasing the monetary supply. You don't see those dudes all going to prison. Why? When there is a need, when currency has a need, when liquidity is stressed and there's a need, innovation will bring a response. Necessity breeds innovation. And that is what happened. And so crypto is another step like that. It's a euro dollar extension of liquidity in various other long tail means. So there's value there, at least to somebody. Otherwise, people wouldn't pay for it. And value is a very weird argument anyway. What's valuable to you might not be valuable to someone else. If you believe something has value, it's got value. You really need two people. You got to make a market. So anyway. It's unlikely that the European Central Bank could do that part better than Satoshi Nakamoto or the group of people who created Bitcoin, or the millions of entrepreneurs around the globe with billions and hundreds of billions in incentives to participate in Bitcoin mining and validation, as well as some of the other assets. It's not very clear that the ECB could do anything better than USDC. Maybe it should just be Euro C. I don't know. Anyway, America is basically saying, if the dollar is to tokenize, let the market do it. Let private participants do it. And this is a very interesting take. Private money. Ooh. I think there needs to be regulation over private monies, in the sense that a simple check of their balance sheet, I think, in real time. I think your balance sheet should be exposed. I think that everybody that deals in any crypto asset should have instant access with a couple of clicks of seeing where all the money is behind all of the digital tokens that you release. Tether needs real-time auditing. They've never been audited. Never. Not once. Never. So At some point, you would think maybe that's important. If there's $80 billion in Tether floating around, someone might want to go make sure that there's 80 billion somethings somewhere that represent that. Otherwise, the Ponzi scheme that we know affectionately as Tether would dissipate. That unwind would be gross and not good for anyone. So anyway, it looks like banks will be able to get into the game. We'll see. It could be cool. It could be cool to warehouse or to hold your Bitcoin and your Ethereum in your Chase account. But then I got to ask, why would you? See, this is the whole thing. When banks can custody, do you trust your bank? So let's have a yes or no. Would you guys here trust a bank to custody your crypto? Would anybody here trust Chase to hold your Bitcoin? Would anybody here trust Bank of America? Remember the company that said we're not taking change anymore. We just decided not to take change. Seriously, you can't go quarters, dimes, nickels. Nope, we don't take change. So the fact that they may or may not be able to do a thing legally, I mean, it's cool, but I don't trust those assholes. Now, let me add a little heat to the question. Would you trust them if you could use your Bitcoin as collateral on a loan? What about that? What if that collateralized a loan, my friends? Something to think about. The problem with credit unions are they're so small that I don't know if their security situation would make sense. I almost think it's got to be like a Fidelity. I think Coinbase and Kraken should just get into banking. They already understand the crypto landscape and the infrastructure. I think they should get into banking. I'm sure that that's what their end run is, right? Like it seems pretty obvious. Anyway, but banks can get into the game now. And so I do think we are entering the kind of overt mass adoption phase. Maybe 3 to 5 years, the euro might compete because European banks could do the same with the euro. But at this point, I don't know that in Europe there's any difference between a CBDC and tokenized fiat. I don't think it moves the needle, other than that tokenized fiat currency is in the public blockchain and we can trust it because we can see it. Again, that ability for real-time audits. We know that Tether is bullshit because we can see the audits. Now, people trust it, which is weird, but at least they have the information. I don't know anybody that messes with Tether that doesn't realize it's bullshit. They're okay with it, which is weird to me, but it is what it is. So then you have this kind of connection between banks and central banks, and like figuring out like, okay, wait, a central bank asset, or is this going to be a treasury asset that the central bank kind of manages? Like, how's this going to all go down? Because again, the way the Fed works here in the United States is not the way central banks. The Fed is not a central bank. They don't deal in money. They deal in bank reserves, which is just a coupon. It's a placeholder coupon. They don't deal in real money. Everything runs through the treasury. The Fed is just an advisory and weak. And matter of fact, people used to just laugh at the Fed. Like they were just the clowns of the clowns. It's starting to get back that way, right? But anyway, so we will see. We will see if there is some weird kind of new era where holding Bitcoin doesn't make you look like some criminal or some weirdo. So anyway, there's that. Okay, I thought that was cool. Is that the reason? No, Jerome, you don't get to take credit for Bitcoin going up. Why? Because you have nothing to do with banks being allowed to hold crypto. That has nothing to do with you, Jerome. You just decided to pick up that news blurb, throw it in a conference so that you can be a part of that. It's like he's celebrating someone else's birthday. Like that's not your birthday, Jerome. Go home. You're not getting any cake. Fuck off. So anyway, really, 12 to 15 on graph. What is the lockup period? What's the lockup period, Brent? Or what is the what is the wind down? Because if they're getting 12 to 15%, I'm about to go give me some of that right there. I got some graph token with the Kraken's name on it. Okay. So where does that leave us? Well, we had a nice little market recovery, which again, we talked about that. We are back at what seems like an okay levels. We're within striking distance, 2,900 and change away from all-time highs in Bitcoin. Not much to stop it. And again, nothing trades in a straight line. People are always going to gamble. People are always going to, get over their skis. They're going to get over leveraged, always. And so there's going to be little mini cycles, little mini blowups, leverage unwinding, things like that. But we've seen that. We've seen a lot of them over the last few weeks. I mean, well, let's call it the last 8 weeks. We've seen several of these unwinds. People are going to always be stupid. People are going to always try to play catch up. They're always going to try to hit the home runs that they shouldn't. People are going to always take deep leverage like that jackwagon that lost $98 million in one over-leveraged Bitcoin trade. 98 million. I don't care how rich you are. You lose 98 million, you fucking cry about it. You cry a lot. It's like curled up in a ball, spitting all over yourself, like nose running, crying, involuntary bowel evacuation, sobbing, deep, audible sighs. The neighbors are like, oh gosh, I hope he's okay over there. I hope he's okay. I say he because no woman on earth is that fucking stupid. That's definitely the hubris of a guy. I'm going to take a $98 million bet with a lot of leverage. And it's gone. Such bullshit. Yeah, 2 to 7. Dude, that's dope. We might have to do a little rejiggering. I've got a couple of units of Ethereum might make their way over to Kraken. I like Kraken. It's hard to get in and out of trades because they're not super liquid. Let's see. I'm not seeing Kraken staking in my account. I guess they excluded or haven't included Texas. Texas usually has everything. You know what? Let me look. Let's see. Okay, Kraken. I think I'll open. Yeah, Kraken Pro. Let's see. Kraken Pro. Up. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm on their homepage. Markets. Let's go to account. Let's go to portfolio. I don't see any staking options. No pending transactions. All I have, let me see. Let me go to portfolio maybe. Nope, nothing there. Okay, let me go to account, see if there's any. No, nothing there. Maybe it's got to be on the regular page. Maybe you click into the assets. Maybe. Let's see. Kitty, you making it over there? All right. Oh, they're wrestling. That's a lot of. All right. Let's see. I don't see any staking options, at least on the app. Let me check the other app. Let's check the regular Kraken app. Oh, it's on the desktop. Interesting. I got an email to look. Okay, update. Yes, that's a. Come on. Come on, man. Don't spinning wheel me. I spinning wheel you. Anyway, we're waiting for the app to update. Yeah, it may be just through it may just be through the web, the desktop. Buy, deposit, send. Got it. Buy, deposit, send, and more. I go under more. Ain't nothing about staking. They used to have staking. Staking was awesome. Let's see if there's any new news. Take full advantage of Kraken. Set up recurring buys. Nope. Ethereum. Let's see if I click on Ethereum. More. Buy, sell, send, convert, deposit, withdraw. Ain't nothing about staking. So it hasn't made it to the apps yet. I will definitely take a look. That's exciting. Anyway, let's take a quick look at markets. Who's on first? I mean, Sui releasing upgrades, continuing to kind of push, continuing to be in the public spectrum. Again, the people pushing this are the same people, the same scumbags, the same douchebags, the same fucking crooks that push Solana. But you know what? For a broken protocol, Solana gets a lot of business. Sure, it's mostly meme coins, the same kind of low IQ idiots that don't care that Solana sucks. But you know what? That is a market. Dummies is a market. It's a big one. That's why we say, what would dummies do? I think people will frame Sui as the next Solana, and market cap be damned. I think that there's gold in them their heels. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be against it. Aptos having a decent day. VeChain having a decent day. Where else are we? Cosmos, Graph token, 18. I keep looking at this graph to Algorand. Algorand got a little bit ahead, but they kind of go with this kind of 2-to-1 ratio graph to Algorand. I don't know why that is. They're completely unrelated, uncorrelated. I keep trying to get ahead. Like if Graph token would sell off and Algorand would get ahead, I would swap back and forth. But you're still getting a little bit over 2-for-1. That's pretty good. Jupiter, full green sheet. A lot of upgrades coming. ASR rewards coming. A lot of cool stuff. Sei Network, it's up. It's a spammy knockoff of Sui. So remember, Sei is a knockoff of Sui, which is a knockoff, not really a knockoff, but the next Solana, the Solana killer. Solana, people at Solana are like, buddy, our network doesn't work 5 days in a row. You know, there's nothing you have to kill. That whale has been beached. All right. And moving down the list, Arweave. I like it. I don't know if it's going to make anyone rich, but I like it. I'll probably keep adding to it. Pith is kind of with the Sei crowd of stupid meme bullcrap that's pushed on Twitter. Harmony One could be interesting. I think they could make a run to. Well, it's hard to say. We'll talk about that tomorrow, maybe a little bit behind the wall. Anyway, but it's having a pretty good day. 15% ain't nothing, and Arweave 16%. You know, it's not terrible. Otherwise, kind of quiet. Let's look at the crap assets. At some point, we'll be able to do something with Twin. That'd be great. Right now, not anything yet. Sophia continues to burn and degrade lower and lower and lower with no end in sight. It is a terrible company run by idiots, and they never really launched. It was pretty much just it seems like they never got out of the starting blocks at all. They never had nothing, just kind of a big fail. I have millions of that worthless piece of shit token. So don't ever feel bad if you guys get stuck in a bad one. Just, it happens. Some of this stuff is just going to go away. It is what it is. I bet if I sold my tokens right now, I could get that thing to actual zero. If I just dumped all my tokens, I bet I can't. Not only can I not get a penny, I bet I can't get 0.2 of a penny on that piece of shit run by those idiots over at ASI. NewNet, big fail. Not much of a future there. Those guys are never going to. Well, it's not fair to say never. It's unlikely that they. It's unlikely they ever get anything accomplished, including like just basic English grammar. Cogito is a big fail. It's a rebranding nightmare. Over and over, they've pivoted their company 3 or 4 times. They have no idea. They can't find their ass with both hands. They're run by idiots, managed by crooks. Ain't nothing there. Hypercycle, you're feeling notes. So a little bit of an update. It looks like it's either the 11th or the 12th, but I think the 12th is the launch date for GMRT. Real quick let me go over here. These tokens, the GMRT tokens in GMRT, these tokens on day one, they're exchangeable for the token, meaning you don't have to wait. There's no lockups. If you buy through a launch pad, you're also paying 12 cents, but you are locked up. These have no lockup requirements. You get them on day one. You swap them. You get them. You can do whatever you want with them. There's also going to be a pool that somewhere between 20 and 25% pool. And then on Libra, Frank, we don't have a date yet, but we do know on GMRT. Look, the 11th or 12th depends, I guess, where you are in the world. So I would say for us, probably the 12th. But yeah, that's 2 weeks away. That's kind of exciting. I'm excited for this one. And they are working with Hypercycle. They're going to be doing all sorts of cool stuff. Matter of fact, they just made the announcement. There was a press release today that Hypercycle will be working with the game company to enhance the capabilities of their network. And by the transited property, GMRT would have more use, utility, and adoption. Hopefully some hoarding effect. And it's a bunch of gamers. So we can say, what would dummies do? They probably get it. They probably hoard it. So I think it checks all the right boxes. I think it will actively just embarrass the fail that was Sophia. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I think the pools are going to be awesome. All these pools are awesome. Same thing with Libra. 25% on a company. Did you guys see all those updates? We talked about them yesterday. Holy crap. Dude, this is a company that could be minting money, like billions a year. So I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, if there are no other questions, let's see. A couple extra Luna. Oh, Barry, you slay me. Barry. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, yeah, even Brandon just hit me up and said Kraken's doing staking. They're back in the staking game, and it's pretty good. I guess I'm going to spend the next couple hours moving assets over to Kraken. Go slow. Oh, wait, assets Kraken? Anyway, go slow, right? Don't fat thumb something. Don't send something to the wrong address. Take your time. Do test transactions. Do all the little things that you're supposed to do. I'm sure, of course, leaving Coinbase, going to Kraken, I'm going to get, we have to do a security check on your account because all this same bullshit. So we'll see. All right. Let's call it a day. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, swinging on meth grandmother wouldn't do, which is very little. We will see you tomorrow for the show. Brandon will be back with us. Then when we go behind the wall, we'll have some old clever stuff to talk about. Oh, I just got a Kraken notification. Aptos is up. Well, I know Aptos is up, you dicks. I can see it. I can see it on the screen. It ain't up to where I bought it, though. All right. Yeah. All right. Tout à l'heure.
mind, the seams have come undone. You've been telling lies to these eyes as if they'd never seen the sun. Now you've let your guard down and your heart is exposed. Now you've let your guard down, but how could you have known that I'm the big fish round here? You're a small fish. I could make you disappear. You should know this. I'm the big fish round here. You're a small fish.